Hi my friends, it's Eliza, and today we're going to be talking about anxiety. I actually filmed this entire video already a few days ago, and something happened and I had to retake it, so fun stuff. So before we get started, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice, this is just what I've done, and that's on top of going to a psychiatrist, going to therapy, getting medication, and getting a lot of help. But that unfortunately is not enough for me. I've had to learn how to cope with it because unfortunately you don't have a therapist with you all day long. You don't have a psychiatrist with you all day long. And I've had to learn how to survive having anxiety because I've had anxiety, very severe anxiety, since I was little. And pretty much my teenage years were probably the worst. Like I would say to 16 to when I was 20 was the worst. And I wanted to, since I've dealt with it for such a long time, I'm 33 now, I wanted to help others because I've had a lot of people just tell me how anxious they are, how frustrated they are with COVID-19, and I have been maybe a little bit more than normal, but not as bad as others dealing with this COVID-19, and I maybe wanted to help you guys out, and just by letting you know what I do for myself and what has made me feel better. So I wrote a few things down, and I'm gonna keep looking down at my laptop at this. Anyways, let's get started. The first one is, and this is kind of how I began and how I've moved forward with dealing with my anxiety, listening to music, first of all, listening to something else and singing along to it, or just singing along in your head. When I was younger, I kind of realized Maroon 5 when I was in high school was a newer band then, and I started listening to some of their songs, and it doesn't have to go with what you're feeling. It can be that. So that is a CD that helped me to calm down. Some of their songs would just kind of mellow me out enough so that I can fall asleep, and that's how I started. But now I have an anxiety playlist, I have a happy playlist, I need a scream playlist. I also listen to different meditations. On my phone I've downloaded some songs, I've downloaded some meditation that has helped me because I've learned how to do different type of meditation. So for my anxiety playlist, I have stuff like my old Maroon 5 CD. I have something more calmer, where if I'm having more of a severe anxiety, I can usually like slow down my brain, slow down my breathing. I also have like a get happy playlist, and that is more of I just want to get up and dance and just get away from my thoughts and move my thoughts from something negative to something positive. So that's more of like playing Lizzo, playing Bill Withers' Lovely Day, putting on some Al Green. It doesn't matter, whatever you like, that's gonna be on you. So whatever makes you happy, and it's gonna kind of get you out of a funk. Another playlist I have is my scream playlist, and that means that I'm gonna have a playlist that I'm just gonna be able to belt out, so more of like ballads. I have a particular song by Christina Aguilera, Walk Away, and that one just like makes me sing and yell, and it's a breakup song, but I've been married for several years, so it doesn't have to be because I'm breaking up. I just need to kind of get out my frustrations, or listening to Demi Lovato or Ariana Grande, something that's just gonna get out those feelings. So that's my scream playlist. And with that, sometimes I just get up and I will just start doing like a little weird dance, just like, woo, let's go. And literally I'll do that. Like I'm not even in a happy mood. And I just start doing like a little weird dance, not like an actual dance, but just like my little weird dance. And that's what I do, and that makes me happy. So hopefully that'll help you. And with that, I was talking about the second thing is meditation, prayer, and breathe with music. So with meditation, that's been something that I've had to like not think that it's so weird, because for such a long time I did not want to do meditation. I did not want to do breathing exercises. I didn't start until maybe 3 or 4 years ago, when my work was having some type of class that I can participate, and it was a really great class, and I'm very thankful for that, because that made me learn how to just kind of be in my own space, be in my own head in a positive way, and just kind of let out my feelings and learn how to breathe. And learning to breathe, like especially if you're having an anxiety attack, kind of doing slow, calm breaths. So just like and just like letting it out. So those are things that have helped me. One of the class that I did was healing vibrations. So it's like a little bowl, and then they just go ding ding, and so they're dinging it, and you chant like if you were, I don't know if you guys have heard like of monks chanting. So you go ah. So that helped. After that class, it was very Christian based, so that was also different for me with meditation, so that she had it Christian based and talking about God, whoever God is to you, and it was just such a great class that helped me. And then before I knew anything, I would pray, and I can think of like maybe being 6 or 7 years old and just telling God to help me from the situation. I was very religious, even though my parents weren't. I've always been pretty religious and asked God to help me through the situations. Unfortunately, they weren't as fast as I wanted, but life did change. And with that, I was talking about breathing music, or having a different playlist of different chants, or watching different videos. And I'm gonna link some of the stuff that I put on my personal playlist down below, and different free stuff on YouTube that I've done. And then one thing that I also thought about today is doing yoga. And for people that aren't familiar with yoga, I don't know what I'm doing. But I do just kind of try my best, and I do more of like like a senior workout, or people with back pain. I do have a lot of chronic back pain, but I do something more of a beginner style. So if you have no idea what to do, don't try to do everything perfect. Just do what you can. If they're going super faster than you, that's fine. Just do it at your own pace. And then I was also talking about breathing, doing slow, calm breaths. That's one thing that I've had to learn to also tell to other people, to tell them not to tell me, just breathe. Because when I'm having an anxiety attack, I am breathing. I am trying to breathe more calm, but I can't. I'm hyperventilating. So instead of breathing like normal, I'm fine. No, you just start, I'm like, I can't get my breaths correct. So what I've told like people like my husband, my friends, my family, if you see that I'm having an anxiety attack, tell me to do a slow, calm breath. So just breathe with me, and just like show me how to breathe, and tell me just do slow, calm breaths. Okay, just calm down. And that has helped me more than just people just saying just breathe, because I am breathing or I forgot to breathe. That's something I also do. So if I'm like really frustrated, I'll just like be calm and not breathe. So that's something that has helped me, making sure that others know. The third thing is just writing things down. So since I was pretty young, I had a diary, and I still have some of them, and they're kind of embarrassing because and sad too, really, really sad. But write on your iPhone, write on your notes. Just get everything that you're feeling just out. Erase it if you want to, or write it on a piece of paper and then, throw it away. Just get your feelings out on paper or in writing so that they're no longer stuck in your head. And fifth is, which is probably what people are going to think is extra weird, is actually having an anxiety attack. So if I'm having an extremely hard time, for instance, dealing with death, that's just something that has came up to me recently. And dealing with that, I actually had to have an anxiety attack. I couldn't hold in my feelings. Sometimes you just have to cry and feel what you're feeling, and you're not going to feel any better until you actually let your emotions out, at least for me. The next one is thinking about worst case scenario. So this is the sixth one, thinking about the worst case scenario. So for me, I have to think of worst case scenario and try to work through it. So I work myself out of that worst case scenario. So for instance, one thing that I've thought of is, what if I lose my job? Well, you can file for unemployment. You can go to food pantries. You can, if you're religious, or even if you're not, maybe there's churches that are willing to help you. Looking at the different food pantries, asking maybe friends, maybe asking family to help you. If they can't help you, finding food. I've been telling my husband, well, worst case scenario, I guess I'm gonna have to kill some birds and go up to the mountains and get some food, and I'll build some shelter. I've literally thought of that. And worst case scenario, if that's what I have to do one day, then that's what I'll have to do. And thinking about that, of worst case scenario of losing my job, what if I can't find a job, what if this happens, what if that happens, and I really think about worst case scenario, and then I usually feel a lot better afterwards, after I've worked out the worst case scenario. Next one is intentionally doing something that makes you happy. So for me today, right now, I've been stuck at home all day, and yeah, my hair is not perfect, but I did my hair today. I tried. I put on some eyeliner, I put on some lipstick, and I put on a cute little dress, even though I was home all day. So doing something intentionally that makes you happy, especially if you're getting really anxious, and you only want to be in sweats and something comfortable, and you don't want to dress up, you need to change up your routine. So I don't even have like face makeup on my face, but just doing the eyeliner and the lipstick took 2 seconds. My hair took, as you can see, probably 5 minutes because I didn't do it that well. But just doing little things to make you happy, putting on, like I said, my playlist. I personally am lucky enough to go to the beach, so I live right across the street from water, so I'm lucky enough to have that luxury, but that's really important to me. So for me, if we weren't dealing with all of this, I would go, usually I go to the beach every day, and I go to the beach on my lunch every single day. Even if I'm not walking around, literally stepped out of my car, sat down, and did nothing. And that's something that would make me happy. So just getting outside, getting some sun, being able to breathe and think about nothing. And then with that, or just getting into water for me, going to the beach is something that really calms me down, and just I'm able to not focus on anything. And I literally, during summer, every single day I'm inside the water just swimming around or trying and jumping and being weird. And so getting in water, so meaning like for me, going to the beach, going to a lake, going to a river, getting in your bathtub, going in a kiddie pool, whatever that is that you can do, and getting some sun. I know we're all quarantined right now. I know it's really hard, but at the very least, open up your door, take a step out in your front door, breathe in, breathe out for just a few minutes, and then go back in. You'll find that helps, even just being out in the sun for just a moment. And the last thing with that one is something that makes me happy is going to cleaning, not going. So the thing that makes me happy, which is weird to me, and is cleaning. I like cleaning up the bathroom. That is something that makes me happy because I'm able to literally clean up the tub, clean up the walls, clean up the floor, clean up the toilet, clean up every single spot, and it is perfect. So I oddly have that thing of like, I know if I'm stressed out, I usually tend to clean, and especially the bathroom, if everything is just perfect afterwards, I feel so much better. And the next one is, I don't even know what number I'm on. 9 is think about a specific situation. So for me, it doesn't have to be overly perfect. One thing that I like thinking about, or when I was younger, I used to like thinking about going to the beach, or thinking about when I was in a tub and just the lights are dimmed, and it would just calm me down. But as I've gotten older, I can't just think about the beach. I can't just think about being in a bathtub. I have to think about a specific situation. So 2 situations that I thought about recently is one, since since Easter was just recently, one thing that I thought of was one Easter, me and my dad and my brothers, we went out to celebrate Easter, and how we would celebrate. We didn't have very much money, so my dad would just literally buy 1 dozen eggs for me and my brothers, and we just have like little tiny candies in them, and we would go off to the river and swim in the river, and you pretty much had to be a rock climber to go to this national park, because there's like a little cliff and you're just like climbing there. My dad would even let us climb by ourselves. I don't know what he was thinking, but I wouldn't do the same. But so you'd climb down, and just thinking about swimming, how the sun felt, how I felt, just what I ate. He would usually make especially this one particular Sunday that I was thinking of, he made just a simple sandwich with mayo, some sour cream on the other slice, and some ham. And lettuce and tomato. It was a super simple sandwich, but I remember just like enjoying that sandwich so much and being so happy at that moment. And it wasn't a big celebration. Another thought that I have thought of is celebrating, not with my biological mom, but person that I consider my mother. She actually used to be our roommate, or an adult roommate. So she's been in my family's life since my biological mother was a child. So she's been in my life forever. And so she's literally my family member, and I consider her my mom. But I think of her kind of getting us away and just getting an ice chest and filling it with just, again, PB&J sandwiches, something simple, water, maybe a little bit of popcorn, or like a small bag of chips for me and my 3 other siblings, and just spending all day at the beach, just enjoying that moment and thinking about, again, the sun, what I was eating, how the sand felt, how the water felt. All those little moments, I think about that specific day and how happy I was at that moment, and it just calms me down. And let's see. And I guess that is it. That is the end of my list. I guess I had 10. Okay, bonus. I forgot to do this part. So the very last thing is, so do this with me. I'm gonna show you guys really quick. Okay, I'm back. So that is me. So do it with me. I just showed you what I do. You're gonna wiggle your arms, you're gonna point to the ground, make a little circle, and then realize that that is all you can control. You cannot control your spouse, you cannot control your brothers, you cannot control what others people do. You can only control yourself and what you're thinking sometimes. So yeah, learning to realize that you can't fix everything. You can't make choices for your friends or your family members as much as you would like to. You can't, and there's little kids yelling outside, so sorry about that. But yeah, you can't control everything, and that's something that I've had to deal with big time, especially with people that have passed away. I've had to learn that I cannot save them as much as I would love to take care of every single teen that I see that is struggling, and I would love to take them in. I can't. I can just refer them to different resources, their school psychiatrist, their therapist, giving them different resources, but I can't fix everything for them. That is not my place. And even with more so with family members, so if they choose something that you don't agree with, you don't have any control over that. You can just give them your advice and then just back off, and that's all you can do. So yeah, even when it comes to people that you live with or your spouse, you can't control what they're thinking or what they're going to say or how they're going to act. You're just gonna you can just control whatever you're feeling and how you're going to act and react to the situation. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that helps. I will see you later, my friends. Please don't forget to like this video. Yeah, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, tell me what makes you feel better. What do you like that makes you feel better? And I will talk to you guys later. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Bye.